Welcome to the Bleeding Edge Report with Chris and Tregg, where we scour the world in search of the latest technology triumphs and defeats. Thank you for watching. Well, hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, good, Tregg. How you doing?
Good. I guess it's your turn to throw something out on the Bleeding Edge Report that we can chat about and share with some of our viewers. Hopefully, give them a little education, a little bit of opinion at the same time. So, what do we have today?
Well, yeah, it is my turn. So I just thought I'd share with you guys what I've been studying recently, because I think it's a pretty exciting market. It's AMRs, Tregg. Do you know what AMRs are?
No. What is an AMR?
I'm glad I caught you drinking
I think
coffee.
I know a lot of AMRs, but I'm trying to think of what AMR you might be talking about.
AMRs are autonomous mobile robots. So rather than talk about it, I'm just going to open with a couple of examples. So take a look at this. This is called the Squid. Check this thing out. So you can see this guy, he's a warehouse robot, right? But he climbs the shelves to grab the payload. Isn't that awesome?
It looks like he's at some kind of like a Costco or Sam's Club or something like that, but it's more of a warehouse that's just kind of configured around the squid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not a public accessible place, but you know, maybe one day.
Maybe.
So I have some other examples.
Okay.
Right. This is another warehouse example, but this is more like a grocery. This is a grocery robot. And so again, not public accessible. This is a warehouse, and these robots run on top of the payload, and they grab the payload and then carry it to collate and sort for their customers.
So each one of these robots is going off and grabbing one or two things or something, and then bringing it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, you know, we're kind of marketers to, you know, strategy guys. So what's the size of this market, AMR market?
AMRs?
Yes.
Well, North America, it's estimated to be about $800 million as of a couple of years ago, but it's supposed to grow basically quadruple in the next 5 years to about $3.2 billion, right? Just North America.
Yeah.
Globally, it's supposed to be about $10.5 billion of AMR as a market worldwide. And as you might guess, Asia is the leader in using AMRs for industrial purposes, right? Mainly that's the use case they're using, because China is the world's factory still, and that's the largest user, followed by Japan, then followed by the United States. So you might ask, you in particular might ask, why would they do this? And clearly the reason is—
Why would they do what? What do you mean, why would they do this? Why would
they use robots?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, you know, I've seen a little bit, but and I've seen some of this stuff, but I don't think that a lot of people know, especially me, you know, what extent this is coming around the corner, right? Is it coming around the corner, and how big is it? You know, because have we personally experienced any of this? No, right? We've just seen pictures of it. So I'm curious, what are the main markets for it?
Right. Well, as I've shown you in a couple of videos, you can see that warehousing, logistics are important use cases, right? Those are probably the top two. But there's others, like in general industrial purposes, manufacturing, right? Healthcare would be another easily conceivable market. And then actually agriculture would also be another huge market of potential for AMRs. those are probably the top ones worldwide that people are not only investigating, but they're actually applying these solutions to today, right? So, for example, you can see this this video I'm showing you is a one for corporate campuses delivering food so that you keep the folks who are in the corporate campus working longer. That's a method to drive productivity, right?
Yeah.
There's an example here of DoorDash. Now, if this is reality,
Yeah.
that poses some challenges, but I mean, it is a remarkable thing that this can drive around downtown on a city sidewalk autonomously. And what that means is
that
you
might
don't have
that,
somebody
that might end up in the back of a 1965 Chevy Impala in about 20 minutes.
Well, I suppose it might. There is a possibility for that, and you'd have to build that into your cost model, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at this. Look at these graphics, right? Where this is the level of sensors and visual management that the machine itself is using. These are all obstacles that it identifies. And the difference is the previous generation of robots is that they used to follow a track, right? Most robots you'd never see because they're inside a factory. They're following a track, like an electric train, for example, right? And they would stop if there's an obstacle, but they don't navigate around it. They just wait, right? Yeah. So you have to clear the track, so to speak, in order for progress to continue. These guys, they don't wait. They plot a solution and make a decision and move forward on their own. Hence the autonomous.
In our conversation we had a couple of weeks ago with Jason Wells, right?
Yes.
Where we were talking about AI.
Yes.
That's an example. This is just an example of, being able to put in some form of artificial intelligence in these autonomous vehicles where it makes them more efficient. They can do more things. They can learn, patterns, they can do all this stuff and then apply it on their own and do all the processing on their own. Yeah.
So perhaps in the future, the DoorDash robot would be scared of 1965 Chevelles.
So what other things can
this one might hit the home the quickest for most in the North American market as a residential robot. This is a outdoor lawnmower. So you'd put this thing out there, it cuts the grass. It runs on a cellular connection. I think that's important to know that most AMRs is going to be run on a cellular connection. 5G.
That's a good point. Remember, we had Dirk on and he was talking about 5G and what 5G is going to, be capable of doing, in that this is one of the areas that I think he did talk about was, enabling better autonomous vehicles or autonomous solutions.
Yes, because of the speed.
Right. Yeah.
Because each of these sensors are reporting back different metrics and, for example, troubleshooting. Well, if there's a fault with the lawnmower, right?
Yeah.
And it loses its navigational control and goes over and hacks up your neighbor's bush, then you got yourself a problem, right? So, it's all on 5G because it's fast, it's reliable, and it's capable, right? Yeah. So, that's exactly what Dirk was referring to. So those of you who haven't seen that episode, it's available. Just go back and have a look. It's fascinating conversation.
Well, that's stuff we've been kind of looking into that too. Just new ways to transfer mobile data for mobile data communication for devices just like this.
Yeah, that's right.
That are not tethered to a Wi-Fi situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another way to think about AMRs is this is the epitome of IoT.
Good point.
Right.
It's where the rubber hits the road on a lot of this stuff, because it's actually completing and enabling something to complete an actual job.
That's right.
Physical task.
So speaking of physical tasks,
instead of just a task on a computer, like writing you a letter or something like that, this is something. Okay.
This is what I think is the epitome of AMRs. This is Boston Dynamics Atlas.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. So this guy is going to fetch the builder's toolbox that he left down off the job site. So instead of risking injury by climbing down off the scaffold. He's having the robot bring the tools up to him.
So he's going to take over my wife's job.
Well,
The robot.
maybe.
Yes.
Let's say it's possible.
Well, if it can do that, that'd be a takeover right there. Yeah.
Only if she allows it, I think, is the way to think about that. But we'll deal with that later.
I don't think she'd mind, by the way, but go ahead.
So, Tregg, the last example I have
Holy smokes.
share with you is a military purpose. This is another Boston Dynamics robot. It's the most famous robot they have, called the Robo Dog. But
Okay.
they've equipped it for military purposes. You can see here, it's got a semi-automatic rifle on it for snipering.
So it's a sniper rifle dog. It's a super sniper robo dog.
It is.
Whew. You know that DoorDash could use. It should go along with the DoorDash robot.
That's a good point. In
Dude.
some of those neighborhoods,
Scary for DoorDash.
just send a dog with you. Yeah, that'll work.
Where's
Yeah.
it going? Okay, send the dog with it.
That's right. The biggest obstacle for AMRs is the complexity of integration, right? So a warehouse environment is easily controlled because you can control the networks and things like this. But out in the field, like where some of these Boston Dynamic dogs are supposed to be, extremely complex, extremely difficult. And that's where the greatest minds in this industry are working right now. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. Obviously a growth opportunity, and you're going to see it more and more. So this is what I've been focused on studying, Tregg, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for the opportunity.
Well, I think, I look at this from a market opportunity standpoint, and it seems that there's one common element with some of these areas that I think, AMRs might prove really useful in that. That is, being environments that you can control, right? In a warehouse situation, you can build a warehouse around those squids that we were looking at, right? You can build it from scratch just to make sure it performs well, right? In those environments you don't have a lot of control over, I think it's going to be a little tougher, a little bit more complex, situation. And like you said, the risks that get involved, the least amount of control would be the sniper dog, right?
Right.
So you have this continuum of environments where you can control the environment that this technology goes into, and it seems like those segments, that can put in the most control are going to be the ones, the lowest hanging fruit, at least for right now. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. It was good. It was good. Appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Hopefully everyone, enjoyed our little discussion and learned a little bit about AMRs. So thank you very much, Chris. Great job. And
yeah, no problem. Looking forward to the next one.
Until the next one. Yes, that's true. Very good. Thank you.